Well, I think ultimately I was just born stubborn. Even as a little boy, I put my mind to something and I didn't want to be deterred from my task. And I was used to sort of building things, making things, and that was, so I'd focus on that. That was just a happenstance of where we were and when we were. We were all over the place. We were in film schools. Marty was in New York. Stephen was in Long Beach. I was at USC. And there were student film festivals, so we would see each other and see each other's films at the student film festivals. And out of that, we became friends because none of us could get a job because you couldn't work in the film business. It was closed up. So we were all sort of standing out the door, and we all had similar experiences, and we all loved movies. And, and we saw each other's movies, so we sort of respected each other's work. And that's how we became such friends. It was a time when the studios were being sold to companies, and so we sort of all broke through together into the film business. And we all helped each other. We all, it was great to have a group of people who you could rely on to tell you the truth, to ask questions about what works, what doesn't work. It was nice to have collaborators that were understanding, and you understood them and what their quirks were. Well, it was a challenge for me, especially because we were shooting all over the world, and the crew had been used to being worked for a particular studio. England at that point, the film business was going down, so the studios there was nobody that actually worked for a studio. They were all freelance. So that was a big challenge for the crew and everything. And I was very young, had a beard, had long hair, and so and nobody understood the movie. It's a strange script. So there were a lot of challenges. We had a lot of challenges in storms and, lots of things that were difficult. But we were kind of away from the studio, which was made it easier. Directing is basically a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week job, at least for 6 months to a year. And basically, I had a baby, and I had a company, and I had to sort of make it work somehow, which was very difficult if I was actually directing the movies. As it turned out, it was necessary to come back to England and sort of be on the set and oversee the movie. And so I would sort of consult with the director to try to help him to understand what everything was, because it's a little bizarre. Well, basically what happened is I had gotten interested in digital technology, and I knew I'd sort of reached the end of what we could do with ILM, which was part of the company, with the current technology, and that we had to advance it. So I spent the next 10 years developing digital technology and producing some films, but I didn't direct or do anything. And as a result, that allowed me to actually go back and direct again. I don't really have a favorite. Some of them are a little more problematic than others, but they're all, I care about them all. I wouldn't rank one above the other. As I kind of said, it's not a contest. They're like kids. I love them all. So all those on the website of the festival, may the force be with you.